What up, y'all? We back at it again with another reaction video. I got a guest here. Just got here from Oregon. Fresh in the 206, fresh in the 253. Go ahead. What's your name? Go ahead.
Jamie.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
My name's Jamie. My voice is going out.
Voice is going out, y'all. So don't cook her in the comment section talking about something. She's so quiet. Yeah. Her vocal cords are not working. No,
they're not working.
Nah, she cool. She normally big dog. You feel me? But yeah, the bark a little bit soft today.
It's a Chihuahua one today.
Yeah, a little, the little. Just one of those. You feel me? But we're gonna be diving into this video about AI. She doesn't know too much about AI, so this video is gonna be perfect for her. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, bro. Like, comment, subscribe if y'all rock with this type of content. I'ma shut up and dive right into it, bro. Let's get it.
So all of a sudden AI is everywhere. People who weren't quite sure what it was are playing with it on their phones. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about AI for a long time, since I was in college, really. It was one of the things that, the sort of 4 or 5 things I thought would really affect the future dramatically. It is fundamentally profound in that the smartest creatures, as far as we know, on this earth are humans, is our defining characteristic.
Yes.
We're obviously weaker than, say, chimpanzees and less agile, but we are smarter. So now what happens when something vastly smarter than the smartest person comes along in silicon form? It's very difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. It's called the singularity. It's it's a singularity like a black hole, because
yes.
you don't know what happens after that. It's hard to predict. So I think we should be cautious with AI.
Look at his reaction. Oh God, that's the exact reaction I would have had too. He's like, "What? The biggest WTF face
it's a
ever."
Singularity like a black hole.
Hold on.
Yeah, you don't know what happens.
Like a
after
black
that.
hole.
It's hard to predict.
Look at that face.
He's like, this man.
He's like, I'm sorry, you make something, you don't know what happens next, but it vastly affects the future.
So I think we should be cautious with AI, and we should. I think there should be some government oversight because it affects it's a danger to the public, and so when you have things that are a danger to the public,
A danger to the public.
Like let's say, so food and drugs. That's why we have the Food and Drug Administration,
right,
and the Federal Aviation Administration, the FCC. We have these agencies to oversee things that affect the public, where there could be public harm, and you don't want companies cutting corners on safety, and then having people suffer as a result. So that's why I've actually for a long time been a strong advocate of AI regulation. So that I think regulation is, it's not fun to be regulated. It's somewhat arduous to be regulated. I have a lot of experience with regulated industries because obviously automotive is highly regulated. You could fill this room with all the regulations that are required for a production car just in the United States, and then there's a whole different set of regulations in Europe
just
and China.
To sell the car to people.
So very familiar with being overseen by a lot of regulators. And the same thing is true with rockets. You can't just willy-nilly shoot rockets off, not big ones anyway. Because the FAA oversees that, and then even to get a launch license, there are probably half a dozen or more federal agencies that need to approve it, plus state agencies. So I've been through so many regulatory situations.
Okay, what do you think about what he's saying so far?
It sounds like
he loves the word regulators a lot.
Yeah. But it sounds like it's no good.
I agree.
It sounds like nobody's regulating it.
What he's saying?
Everybody's saying they don't know.
He's saying that there's a potential for like public harm and stuff like that, and they don't know.
They don't know.
All they had control over was basically the launch and saying, okay, once it's created, all they had control over was pressing the on button.
Now they're saying like, let's regulate it.
Exactly. But are you
half a
even
dozen or
able
more,
to do that? Take it
federal
back like 10
agencies that need to
seconds.
approve it, plus state agencies. So I've been through so many regulatory situations. It's insane. And you know, sometimes
What if that was stuck
people
in
think
my-
I'm some sort of like
Facts.
regulatory maverick that sort of defies regulators on a regular basis. But this is
For
actually
$1
not
for
the
every
case.
time you say that.
So,
Regulators, regulations.
in once in a blue moon, rarely I will disagree with regulators, but the vast majority of the time, my companies agree with the regulations and comply. Anyway, so I think we should take this seriously, and we should have a regulatory agency. I think it needs to start.
Should
with-
Have. That
So
means
you
they
caught
did
that.
it. That
Exactly.
means they didn't.
Exactly. You caught that. We should have.
Oh my. That means that they didn't.
Actually seeks
People
should
don't.
have.
insight.
People just don't listen to
into
people's
AI,
words, bro.
then
We
solicits
should have.
opinion from industry, and then has proposed rulemaking, and then those rules, will probably, hopefully, grudgingly be accepted by.
Go ahead, do your thing. If you want, you can you can peel this off and put the actual thing in your ear. Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't fall.
Okay, I'll fix this real quick.
The major players, and then those rules, will probably, hopefully, grudgingly be accepted by the major players in AI, and I think we'll have a better chance of advanced AI being beneficial to humanity in that circumstance.
But all regulations start with a perceived danger. Planes fall out of the
In
sky,
that
or food causes botulism.
Yes.
I don't think the average person
Yes.
playing with AI on his iPhone perceives any danger. Can you just roughly explain what you think the dangers might be?
Yeah. So the danger, really, AI is
Stuttering ass.
perhaps more dangerous
can't name
than,
it.
say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it is.
It's
Keep in
more
mind,
dangerous.
people die. When a plane malfunctions, hundreds of people die when a plane crashes.
He's saying it's worse.
Far worse.
Dangerous
You gotta say how,
than,
though.
say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction. There's movies like Terminator, but it wouldn't quite happen like Terminator, because the intelligence would be in the data centers.
Right.
The robot's just the end
Civilizational
effector.
destruction.
But I think perhaps what you may be alluding to here is that regulations are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case,
Oh my gosh, that's gold. That's gold.
After something
has
terrible
happened.
happens.
That's when people say, okay, we gotta come together.
So
So
now, so they're gonna wait till something pops off, and then they're gonna, let's regulate.
but it has the danger for civilizational destruction. And when you think about it, the basic AI is on every single phone. It's in every single Tesla. It's in every single electric car. Damn near,
Snapchat.
yep. And like buildings and stuff too. They're trying to have like smart cities and stuff now, which will be run by AI.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's why the fires in Maui people were really mad about, and they were saying they don't consent to smart cities being built and stuff like that, because people will be put in prisons basically at that point. You'll have no freedom, no
but I
privacy,
think
no
perhaps
nothing.
what you may be alluding to here is that regulations are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case for AI, and we're only putting regulations after something terrible has happened, it may be too late to actually put the regulations in place. The AI may be in control at that point.
You think that's real? It is conceivable that AI could take control and reach a point where you couldn't turn it off, and it would be making the decisions for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, that's definitely the way things are headed, for sure.
For sure.
I mean, The things like say ChatGPT, which is based on GPT-4 from OpenAI, which is a company that I played a critical role in creating, unfortunately.
Back when it was a nonprofit?
Yes. I mean,
see these rich niggas, bruh. These rich niggas, and they're exploring stuff just because they got money. He's like, I had a role in this work with Google and producing this AI. I've been thinking about AI ever since I was in school. Bro,
a critical role.
Come on now. They need to be in jail.
Unfortunately.
Back when it was a nonprofit?
Yes. I mean, the reason OpenAI exists at all is that Larry Page and I used to be close friends, and I would stay at his house in Palo Alto, and I would talk to him late into the night about AI safety.
That's the dude of Google.
And at least my perception was that Larry was not taking AI safety seriously enough.
What did he say about it?
He really seemed to be one sort of digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
He wanted that?
Yes. He's made many public statements over the years that the whole goal of Google is what's called AGI, artificial general intelligence, or artificial superintelligence. No, and I agree with him that there's great potential for good, but there's also potential for bad. And so if you've got some radical new technology, you want to try to take the set of actions that maximize the probability it will do good and minimize the probability it will do bad things.
Yes.
It can't just be hell for leather. Let's just go, barreling forward and, hope for the best. And then at one point, I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. And
he laughs about that, bro. He dead ass laughed about that. He said, we have to make sure humanity is okay.
Why is he laughing, though?
And the crazy thing is, like,
that's the most I see him smile the whole video.
And, like, the fact that, like, when you create something, like, you have your creation sitting right here, and you have to look at the person you created it with, and you question, is humanity okay here? And, like, that's not, like, a joking question. It's, like, a very real question.
Laughing?
Because it sounds like a joke when you ask it, but it's so real that it's funny to him.
Hell for leather. Let's just go, barreling forward and, hope for the best. And then at one point, I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. And then he called me a speciesist.
Did he use that term?
Yes. And there were witnesses. I wasn't the only one there when he called me a speciesist. And so I was like, okay, that's it. Yes, I'm a speciesist. Okay, you got me. What are you? Yeah, I'm fully a speciesist. Busted. So that was the last straw. At the time, Google had acquired DeepMind, and so Google and DeepMind together had about 3/4 of all the AI talent in the world. They obviously had a tremendous amount of money and more computers than anyone else. So I'm like, okay, we have a unipolar world here, where there's just one company that has close to a monopoly on AI talent and computers, like scaled computing. And the person who's in charge doesn't seem to care about safety. This is not good. So then I thought, what's the furthest thing from Google would be like a nonprofit that is fully open, because Google was closed for profit. So that's why the open in OpenAI refers to open source, transparency, so people know what's going on.
Yes.
And that we don't want to have like while I'm normally in favor of for-profit, we don't want this to be sort of a profit-maximizing demon from hell.
That's right.
That just never stops.
Right.
So that's how OpenAI would.
So you want speciesist incentives here, incentives that.
Yes, I think we want pro-human.
Yeah.
Let's make the future good for the humans.
Yes.
Yes, because we're humans.
So can you just put it? I keep pressing you, but just for people who haven't thought this through and aren't familiar with it, and the cool parts of artificial intelligence are so obvious. Write your college paper for you, write a limerick about yourself. Yeah. Like, there's a lot there that's fun and useful. But can you be
Facts.
more precise about what's potentially dangerous and scary? Like, what could it do? What specifically are you worried about?
Civilizational
The
destruction
pen
is
is mightier than the sword.
I mean,
So
details.
if you have a super intelligent AI that is capable of writing incredibly well and in a way that is very influential, convincing, and is constantly figuring out what is more convincing to people over time, and then enters social media, for example, Twitter, but also Facebook and others, and potentially manipulates public opinion in a way that is very bad. How would we even know?
How do we even know? So, to sum up, in the words of Elon Musk, for all human history, human beings have been the smartest beings on the planet. Now, human beings have created something that is far smarter than they are. And the consequences of that are impossible to predict. And the people who created it don't care. In fact, as he put it, Google founder Larry Page, a former friend of his, is looking to build a, quote, digital god, and believes that anybody who's worried about that is a speciesist. In other words, is looking out for human beings first. Elon Musk responded, as a human being, it's okay to look out for human beings first. And then at the end, he said the real problem with AI is not simply that it will jump the boundaries and become autonomous and you can't turn it off. In the short term, the problem with AI is that it might control your brain through words. And this is the application that we need to worry about now, particularly going into the next presidential election. The Democratic Party, as usual, was ahead of the curve on this. They've been thinking about how to harness AI for political power. More on that next. Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel
For
to catch our
political
nightly
power.
open.
It's not good.
What do you think about that?
I'm out of here. Like the moon.
Saturn. Shoot a nigga into the sun at this point.
Shit.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy. And there's nothing that you can really technically do about it. Like they said, once you start
We're gonna
it,
wait for it to pop off.
yeah, the worst part isn't that you can't turn it off. It's just the fact that it has control over everything, and then
It knows everything.
and it can manipulate people. If it can read your thoughts, like we saw in the last video, and then create and really write like eloquently, like
Yeah.
well, the amount of deception is just is out of this world.
It's insane. I need to get out of here. That should make me like nervous about what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they times are too weird right now. They're way it's creeping up a lot faster than
Especially
people.
with like the skimmers.
Oh yeah, like you were
That's
saying.
just more reason for them to be like, this is why we need this.
And you saw in
And
the
it's like great.
you saw the last video where it was talking about how the lady had her voice cloned and it called her mom and was like she had got kidnapped and the
yeah.
ransom was like $1 million.
And they
or something.
sent it to him.
Yeah. And that's crazy, bro. A scammer would be up at that point because who would be guilty besides the AI?
Oh gosh.
You
Yeah.
can't really go put cuffs on that. What are you gonna do? Go slap handcuffs on the Apple
Yeah.
Apple computer in your room, some shit. But yeah, so that's our reaction to the video, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment your thoughts on what you think about AI, because I do read the comment section and I do reply. So comment stuff you want to see me react to, and I'm gonna get at y'all in the next video.